They hurt me today because they went after my brother. They always hurt me when they go after my brother because I love him so much. And since they're using him to abuse, I want to tell his story so that maybe people will understand. My little brother doesn't deserve what's happening right now. He was born handicapped. In 1986, our father came home from work one day, angry, and he told our mother that it was going to be another goddamned girl. And he wasn't gonna have it. He didn't want another girl. It wasn't going to happen. So he started beating her. He sat on her stomach, and he put his hands around her throat, and he choked her. And he beat her head into the ground until neighbors came and got him off of her and took her to the hospital and made up a story about what happened so he wouldn't get in trouble. When my little brother was born that night, the doctors told us that he would never go home. He was severely handicapped, and the doctors felt like he would never be able to leave the hospital, that he would die before his first day on earth. He managed to live. They brought him home, and life was hard for him because he was never able to do anything. He couldn't talk. He'd never learned to walk. He couldn't eat by himself. When he was about 4, we had a G-tube installed so that he could be fed easier. But before then, it was, you would get a big syringe and fill it up with the Ensure and just shoot it down his throat. And then wait until he stopped gagging and coughing, got it all down, and then do it again. Imagine eating that way. Try it. Go ahead and try it. Go get yourself a big syringe from the store, fill it up with milk, shoot it down your own throat, and just drink an entire glass of milk like that without swallowing or actually drinking, just having it shoved down your throat into your body. See how enjoyable it is, and then you'll understand what the first 4 years of my brother's life were for every feeding. There wasn't a situation where you could give him a bottle and he could suck. He couldn't suck, he couldn't swallow. That was how damaged he was by our father. In all these years that my brother was in that house with our parents, Kathy didn't come to see him. Kathy took him when my mom went to jail, and then told her that she would never do it again. That the next time she would lose her children. Well, you know what, Kathy? My mom should have lost her children that time. But you stepped in. You stepped in and protected your little sister from losing her children so that she could continue abusing those children for decades to come. And you must be so proud of yourself for it. See, just after my brother was born, my mom was arrested for prostitution. My dad was arrested as her pimp. They both went to jail. And all of us would have been taken away and gone into state custody if the family had not rallied together. Meemaw took me, Kathy took little Ronnie, and our other grandparents took my older sister, so that my parents could serve their time and come back and continue being abusive. Kathy knew it was wrong way back then, and she did nothing. She didn't love her little sister enough to care that she was being abused. Everybody knew that my father was abusive. Everybody in this family, everybody in every neighborhood we've ever lived in. It was not a secret. Kathy lived up there in Georgia with her husband and her children for 30 years while my mother was being beat nightly in Florida. And Kathy will just say, well, that was her choice. She made the choice to be with your father. And so because our mother chose to be with an abuser, because she was raised by an abuser and it was the life she knew, then it became her children's choice. And you can't speak out about something that you chose. I do anyways, because I didn't choose this life. I didn't choose this family. And I'm not going to sit around and just let it be okay. I have spoken out. My little brother deserves better than what's happening right now. He's been dead since 2009 and his family still can't show him any love or respect or anything that's not abusive. The very fact that my aunt uses my brother's grave to hurt me, you're not going to get a more abusive example. They are abusive. And my little brother doesn't deserve to be owned by these abusive people. He doesn't deserve for his story to forever be told by the abusers that created him. He never did anything. He never said a word to hurt anybody. He couldn't. He literally couldn't do anything to any of you that are attacking him and abusing him and using his memory in his grave to cause pain. Even if he could, he wouldn't have. Because normal people simply don't do this, and my brother, regardless of how we were raised, I believe my brother would have thought like me. He would have seen all of this as extremely abusive and wrong, and he would have wanted it stopped. Because he was a good person. I believe in my heart that if he was more capable, he still would have been a good person. That's why my family needed to own him so badly. That's why Kathy wanted to own that grave. She wanted to believe that that headstone gave her ownership over that little body, because it was the only body, the only soul in this family that never did anything to hurt anybody. And people will say, well, that means you're a piece of shit. Yeah, I am. I've had a lot of problems in my life. I've made a lot of mistakes. My little brother never did. Never once. Never once said a harsh word to anybody, never lied, never did anything to intentionally cause anybody any pain. Which is why my family uses him to cause as much pain as they possibly can. And I will never stop speaking out about it and telling the world that it's wrong. That he deserves better. I deserve better.